So let's take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us as we listen to this prayer. With full hearts and open minds, we gather today to accept the endless possibilities of peace on earth and peace in our hearts. We acknowledge the existence of pain and injustice in the world, but we also acknowledge limitless love and our limitless being. We welcome our divine inheritance as co-creators. We know that we are already standing in the light of love, of healing, and of transformation, and so it is. Amen. Well, our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray one-on-one, so if there is anything in your heart to be held in prayer, we invite you to see Gail after today's service at the front of the sanctuary. Our chaplains will also pray for you during the week. All you need to do is fill out that little purple slip that is a prayer request, put it in the wooden box by Kathy's office, and that also goes to Unity Village for a month of silent prayer. Remember, all prayers are confidential unless you mark otherwise. Well, we love to sing, so let's rise and join Holly in singing, "Oh, Come All Ye Faithful." choir of angels, and we are glad for it. And so as we settle back into our seats, let's affirm together unity's founding principle. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our Unity of Lawrence vision statement. United in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And our Unity of Lawrence mission statement. We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And to help us with that, we have the gift today of Kristen and Lucy Hamilton. Please give them a warm welcome.
Good morning. It's wonderful to see everyone. Such a beautiful, crisp winter morning. This is a song I wrote. It's a song of gratitude for the daytime moon, which in a time of great sadness brought me comfort and hope. It's just a dark season, I'll be back around soon. It's just a dark season, I'll be back around soon. You know it's just a dark season, you'll see me soon. Well, maybe on occasion like this daytime moon. It's a cloudy day in New York, but I don't mind the mist and rain. It's a cloudy day in New York, but I don't mind the mist and rain. It's a cloudy day in New York, but I don't mind the mist and rain. You know the company is nice and it masks my pain. Mother Nature, my comfort now, as she seems to be aware, providing cloud and mist and moon. It's a night toward my despair. Your daytime moon, no matter what shape you're in. Oh, I love your daytime moon, no matter what shape you're in. I would love your daytime moon, no matter what shape you're in. And not to pause and wonder, it would surely be a sin. It's good to be thankful, even when you're feeling blue. Yes, it's good to be thankful, even when you're feeling blue. You know it's good to be thankful, even when you're feeling blue. And when the sun don't work, I got the daytime moon. Yeah. When the sun don't work, I got this daytime moon. When the sun don't work, daytime moon.
Aren't they wonderful? Oh my goodness, just love when they're here. Love, love, love. And someone else I love, love, love is Diane Silver, a Pushcart Prize nominated poet who writes a weekly newsletter called Poetry and Life, which can be found online at dianesilver.substack.com. Diane has published 2 books of meditations, served on the board for this congregation many times, and is a chaplain at Unity of Lawrence. Welcome, Diane.
Oh, wow. It is so good to see you all. It is always so good to come and speak at my home congregation. You are a blessing to this earth. Okay, this talk is about the blessing, and I think of faith and hope as the blessing we have. But you are a blessing too, so I just want you to know that. Okay, so I am tasked on the first Sunday of Advent to talk about faith and hope. And I'm going to tell you that when I was a little kid, boy, did I know what faith was. I knew what faith was. I was absolutely certain what faith was. Faith was belief in God. And I knew who God was. God was an old white guy. He had white hair and a white beard. And he wore a white toga. And he sat on a stone bench. It took me decades to figure out that the figure I had for God in my mind was actually Zeus, the Greek god. Because I was always baffled by the toga. Where did the toga come from? The other belief I had, the other thing I thought as a young child, as a little girl, was that faith was about knowing God was not only old, but he was cranky. He was cranky, and he was angry, and he wanted you to believe in him. Not wanted you, he was going to make you believe in him and do exactly what he said. And he was going to beat you up if you didn't. This is what I thought God was. That is what I thought faith was. I had to believe in that God. That was faith. Now, as I got older, I figured out a few things that I had. A few ideas I had had as a child were perhaps wrong. It took me until I was a teenager to realize pretzel did not have an N in it. I thought it was spelled P-R-E-N-T-Z-E-O, pretzel. I don't know why. I thought the song, Hark the Herald Angels Sings, the Christmas carol, was about a wonderful little angel named Hark who was singing his heart out on Christmas. Well, come on, Hark, comma, the herald angel sings. It looks like Hark is a sing. But all those things I realized as I grew up, no, pretzel doesn't have an N in it. No, Hark is not a person. And God is not an old cranky dude. And faith is not about believing in a certain image of God. Now, maybe what I'm going to say here is a little bit of heresy. I'm a poet, so that means I come by heresy. It's my birthright. Michelle agrees. She's a poet, too. And I think faith is a little bit more nebulous than absolute belief in some dude sitting somewhere. Faith is the blessing of our life. Faith is what gets us through the day. Faith is what gets us through the week, the month, the years, when we have no way. When we think we have no way, when we can see no path. Because there are other misunderstandings about faith I had when I was a little girl. One of them was that to have faith, I had to see the path, just like the center aisle down this sanctuary. I had to know the path. I mean, in the Bible, and in there are all these rules written down about how you live your life. I thought if I just followed the rules, I just had to find the right rule to follow, and then I would be able to move through life easily, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, and it would all be fine. Well, over time, I realized that wasn't true. Faith was not about knowing all the rules. at least for me, faith was not about always seeing the path. In fact, faith is about moving forward when you do not see the path. I thought faith was about certainty. I am certain in my faith. And that I only had faith when I was certain in my life, when everything was good. But certainty has nothing to do with faith. I do not need faith to know you are all sitting here. I mean, you're all here. You're talking, you're laughing, you're singing, you're looking at me. I do not have faith to know that there are people watching at home. And hello, I didn't say hello before. Good to see you. In fact, I can go later online and find out how many people were watching at home. Faith doesn't have anything to do with certainty. If I win the lottery this week, would be nice. Of course, I should buy a ticket if I'm going to. But if I win the lottery this week, I do not need faith that I can pay my bills. Even if the $200 million or so I'm supposed to bring in gets delayed, I know it's coming. My landlord knows it's coming. They'll be happy to wait. But in the times in my life when I have been completely broke, and the money in my bank account has been 2 digits, when I have not known where the paycheck was coming from, that's when I needed faith to go forward and to not give up. Faith is not about certainty. Faith is about going forward even when you don't know what you believe in. Sometimes it seems like we are lost. I've been lost. Recently I've been lost in my heart, in my mind. Sometimes it seems like that lost time lasts a long, long, long time. Sometimes it's only a day or two. It is faith that gets us through. That's why I call this talk the blessing, because this is what makes it possible for us to go forward. When I was a little kid, I used to ride my bike, two-wheeler, and I was in a new neighborhood, kind of a lower middle class suburb near Detroit. We were clinging to the bottom of the middle class, and but it had good, flat cement streets. And we would ride our bicycles around the block, and we would race, and I was good at it. Sometimes I could win. Sometimes I could win against the boys. And I did not need any faith to know I could ride my bicycle, because I did it all the time and I was good at it and I had skill. When I was starting to ride that bicycle, when my mom was holding on to it so that I could balance, when I had no idea how I could balance and pedal and steer at the same time, I mean 3 things at once, come on. That's when I needed faith. That's when I needed to know I could go forward. Faith is like the morning where I woke up a few months ago, where my alarm woke me up at 8 a.m., and it was pitch black out. It was pouring rain, and the sky was covered with clouds. And I was so shocked, I went, oh, I must have set my alarm wrong. This can't be right. It must be midnight or 1 a.m. or something. And I went and I looked out, no, it's pitch black. And I had to check my computer. I had to check 3 different clocks to know, yes, it's 8 a.m. It was just a horrible storm, first thing in the morning. And there was no sun to be seen. There was no sun to be seen, except the sun was there, just like it's there today. But today we can see it and feel it. That morning, it was so blocked, I didn't even believe it was daytime when I woke up. As people, we think we see everything, or we think we see many options. Often we think in 2 options. You go forward, you go backwards. You go left, you go right. But faith is about knowing that there are options beyond our knowing. options beyond the moment, paths we can find that we don't immediately see. As a human being, I only can see so much. I have limited sight range. I think if you have a totally flat piece of land or totally flat water, you can see maybe out a mile or two. But there are things beyond that horizon that I can't see. And if we limit ourselves to only going on the path we know, we are forever hobbled. When I started going to Unity 20 years ago, I had a horrible, horrible problem. I mean, it was a horrible problem. You know how we end each service by holding hands and singing the peace song? Okay, so I got a person here and a person here. And I'm singing, "Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me." And every time I got to the line, "Let it begin with me," I started to cry. Sometimes it was little tears. Sometimes I'm crying full on with my nose running, and I cannot stop it. And it's like, what do? I'm holding their hands. I can't wipe my hand with their nose. Well, yeah, I can't wipe my nose with their hands and everything. It was very embarrassing. But every Sunday, I kept coming and I kept crying. I'm going, why am I crying? Why am I crying at this silly song? It's not a silly song, but why am I crying at a song, at one line in a song? I was crying because I had no belief, I had no faith that I could find peace in myself. Yeah, let there be peace on earth. That is a great statement of faith. But the one that was just killing me is, "And let it begin with me." Peace in me? Peace in me? There's no peace in me. And as I sang it every Sunday, I began to believe that I could feel at peace. And that crying, it was a grieving of letting go an old idea. And of really believing the words. So what is faith? What is faith? I saw an interesting example of faith on TV the other day. I think you could call it faith. Who else watches the Great British Baking Show here? Okay, I hope you've seen the whole last season. Crap. Okay, put your fingers in your ears. Put your fingers in your ears. I'm going to blow who wins. Spoilers here. Okay, the Great British Baking Show is a great baking competition where, every week the contestants do three baking challenges. And then every week, one contestant gets eliminated. And by the end of about 10 weeks, you have the 3 finalists, and then they do a final bake-off, and then there's an ultimate winner. One of the reasons I like the show, and it's interesting because I don't bake, and I do eat baked goods, but I don't bake. I do not bake, but I love the show, in part because of the way they treat the contestants. There are 2 hosts who are comedians, and then there are 2 judges. But the comedians have the job of making announcements and keeping things going, but they also take care of the contestants in a lot of emotional ways. Well, in this season, there is a contestant in the quarterfinal who, one challenge is called a technical challenge, where you don't know what the recipe is going to be. The other 2 challenges, you bring in your own recipe. But in this technical challenge, you're timed, you only have so much time, and they don't even give you the whole recipe. They'll give you a list of ingredients. They won't give you what the temperature should be or how long you should bake it. It's really hard. I actually couldn't do that at all. So in this one technical challenge, in the quarterfinal, one contestant, who at least I won't name for the people who are watching it, just screws up her cake mightily. She messed it up completely. And she steps away from the bench where they're making things, from this counter, and she goes, "I can't do it. That's it. I messed it up. I can't do it. I quit." She goes, "I quit." I've never seen anybody stop like that on a show. She just outright, "I quit." And her hands go down. And she's standing there, and the other contestants are kind of doing their thing, and they're looking at her. She says, I quit. And Allison, one of the hosts, walks up to her, puts her arm around her, steers her. They compete in a tent. Steers her outside of the tent, and she says, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Take all your negativity, put it outside the tent. And she talks to her and talks to her. I've seen you do this before. I know you can do it. Go forward, do something. Just hand anything into the judges. It doesn't matter how you do it. And Allison talks to her and talks to her and talks to her, and in a sense loans her her faith. Loans her her faith. And okay. And so the contestant goes back. And you know, they're down to a half an hour or something, and they don't have any time. And she throws it together, whatever, remakes the cake, throws together anything she can, and comes up with something. And the technical challenge is judged blindly, so the judges don't know who it is. And so they come up and put their cakes down, and there are 4 contestants, or 5 contestants at this point. And they rank who's first and who's last in the technical challenge. Coming in last is not good for going forward. Well, this contestant, she came in last, but she completed it. And she turned it in. And her other 2 challenges, she did magnificent. So she went forward the next week to the semifinals. And she went forward to the finals. Guess who just won? It was the person who was going to quit. The person who said, I can't do this. This is impossible. In the number of minutes I have, it is literally impossible to put these ingredients together, and it was. And she did come in last. But she was talking, the way she was talking, she was going to quit the whole thing. She was going to quit the whole competition. But she didn't. It may seem like a silly thing to talk about a goofy baking competition in terms of faith, but that is faith. It is impossible. This life of mine is impossible. This world is impossible. I give up. Whop. I'm just letting my hands go down. I'm not doing it anymore. Okay. Faith. Faith is doing what this contestant did. And sometimes maybe you need someone to come and put their arm around you, and that's okay. And say, don't give up. Do anything. Put any foot forward. Just try. That is going forward. I've lost my job. I can't get hired for a job. The person I loved most in the world just told me I was a jerk and left. The person I loved most in the world just died. I don't have a home to live in. I can't get the money, or it seems like I can't get the money to find a place to live. My country is at war. I'm not talking about the people who are here, but the people who are elsewhere. All around me is rubble. I don't know what to do. Here's what I'm saying about faith. It's okay to know not what to do. It's okay to go, I have no idea. I don't know what the path is moving forward. But to have faith that you will find the path. To have faith that there is love in the world. To have faith that we human beings are more than we have ever thought we were. That we have more power. That we are co-creators of this world. And that we are filled with love. And sometimes that love gets brushed aside. Sometimes we can't find our love. Sometimes we're so frightened of being hurt by other people that we strike at them first, thinking that will protect us. But I think faith is having faith that we are more than we think we are. We human beings in general, we human beings in this room. And having faith that on that morning, when I woke up and I thought it was midnight because it was so dark, that the sun was still there. Do you know what this earth would be like if we had no sun? If we were not circling that star at the exact place we are? It would be frozen solid. there would be no air. There would be no plants. There would be no us. There would be no birds. There would be no insects. But that sun is there, whether we can see it or not. It's warming us up, even when it's 17 degrees in the morning and you come to church. Because it would be a heck of a lot colder without the sun. Faith is knowing the sun is there. Faith is knowing there is a way forward. Faith is knowing that the sun is there inside of us. The sun is there in the divine outside of us. The sun is there. Faith is doing the impossible. When you don't know going forward anyways, it's doing the impossible. I ask you to join me today in thinking about the way our culture thinks about faith. Because it seems to me that we've gotten this idea that to commit faith is to commit a crime somehow. And I don't mean a belief in a certain kind of God, although some people do, and that helps, and that's good. But I mean faith that there is goodness in the world. Faith that there is love in the world. Faith that us crazy human beings can figure out something better for ourselves. That's what I mean. So I would hope that you would today acknowledge, promise to commit and to continue to commit acts of faith. Faith in love, faith in hope. Faith in goodness, faith that the warmth of the sun of goodness and love exists and will continue to exist. I skipped the whole middle part of my talk. And the middle part of the talk was, how do we get to this faith? Meditation helps. And we're going to do an example of that in a few minutes. Prayer helps. I think prayer helps, not because you're begging God for anything. You're begging an old dude in a white toga on a stone bench. But prayer resets our perception. It changes us. It's like, in a movie or a TV show, the camera is focused on a certain thing. Prayer changes the camera angle. It changes the camera angle of our mind and of our heart. And it helps us remember that divine is there. Divine goodness, divine love. And one other thing that I think is really cool that helps us, and I found it in the Unity Advent book called Be Not Afraid. There are a few still left on the counter out there. You can pick them up. In it, the Reverend Linda Martella Whitsett talks about, she writes a little essay where she talks about an experience she had when she lived in an ashram. And there was the Q&A time in the spiritual community where the students got together with a teacher, the guru, and they could ask the teacher questions. And one of the students asked a question because he was facing terrible fear, this student. Was just afraid, didn't know how to go forward. And Linda says she thought, as she was listening to this exchange between the student and the teacher, she thought that the teacher was going to say, well, you need to meditate more, meditate harder, which is a contradiction in terms, by the way. I will think it. No. Linda thought that the teacher would say, meditate harder, follow these rules, do this, do that, do exactly this. And you know what the teacher said? The teacher said, just do the next thing. Just do the next thing. That's what Allison did in the Great British Baking Show. She said to this contestant who had given up, just do the next thing. The next thing, finish the stupid cake and put it on the counter to be judged. Come in last. Okay, fine. Just do the next thing. Years ago, before the internet was a big thing, that's how old I am, I had a project. I had a bunch of serious paperwork I had to do, and it scared me. And I could not make myself do it. And to do the paperwork, it was in an actual folder, paper folder, in a drawer. So, my goal, one day, the next thing, go to the drawer, open the drawer, take the folder out, put it on top of the desk. That was my success point, my benchmark for that day, and I am not kidding you, this is not a lie, I'm not making this up. The next day, my benchmark of success was open the folder, read the papers. And then the day after that, the benchmark for success was, now you've read the papers, what's your next step? Are you going to sign them? Are you going to do something else? What is the next step? You don't have to do that because it was too frightening. Just decide what the next step is. So one way to faith is to just do the next thing. So to bring you back around towards the end of the talk now, I ask you to promise yourself, not me, promise yourself that you will break all the rules. You will commit faith this week, next week, and all the weeks after. And you will forget that at times. I know, I do, we all do. It will seem impossible. Okay, fine. Then just bring yourself back and go, okay, I'm committing faith today. I'm breaking the rules. I am an outlaw because I commit faith. And I hope you will join me in that. Because you people, you are a blessing with your music, with your presence, with every little thing you do. You give me hope. You bring this world forward. Thank you.
It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven's all gracious King. The world in song stillness lay, to hear the angels sing. Still through the cloven skies they come, with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music flows o'er all the weary world. Above its sad and lowly plains, they bend on hovering crushing load, whose forms are bending low, who toil along the climbing way with painful steps and slow. Look now, for glad and golden hours come swiftly on the wing. Oh, rest beside the weary road and hear the angels sing.
Today I want to do something a little different. I want you to try a meditation practice that I learned at the Kansas Zen Center. It's an easy meditation practice I learned at the Kansas Zen Center. And I think what's so good about this meditation is that it helps clear all the crazy thoughts out of my mind. I don't know, I don't live inside your brain, I live inside mine, and boy, does it say strange things to me at times. So what I'd like you to do as we do this is sit up, make certain you're sitting up straight so you can breathe fully. If it's comfortable for you, put your feet on the ground, on the floor. And what we're going to do is when you inhale, you will say silently to yourself, "What is this?" When you exhale, you will say silently to yourself, "Don't know." I'll tell you what happens to me when I do this meditation practice. I inhale and I say to myself silently, "What is this?" And a cacophony comes into my brain. All sorts of voices telling me how terrible I am or how terrible the world is. Blah, 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 blah. And then when I very slowly exhale, "Don't know," something inside me goes, "Oh, I don't know." It's okay, let the voices come. Just make certain you hear yourself say in your mind, "Don't know." So to everybody, take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and say silently to yourself, "What is this?" Exhale slowly, say silently to yourself, "Don't know." Inhale, "What is this?" Exhale, "Don't know." Inhale, "What is this?" Exhale, "Don't know." Do it silently yourself for a few minutes. Once more, really focus. What is this? Inhale. Exhale, don't know. Letting go of all the past, all the words. What is this? Don't know. When you're ready, open your eyes. Wiggle your fingers, tap your toes. One thing I do with that is try and focus and make certain that I actually hear myself saying to myself, what is this? Don't know, 3 times. I know that I can say it 3 times and stay focused. Thank you all for being willing to try that. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being who you are. And thank you watching at home. You are a blessing.
The only thing I have, the only thing to protect me is the hope I have in my heart. Hope in my heart, in my heart. And I won't let the world take it from me. To the trees, the water, the sky, I go to the church and I hear myself singing. Take up my guitar and go to good memories. I call on my sisters and my brothers around me. Breathe new air, rest till I'm ready. I get out of my head, lend my help to the city. Take pause and live not to be satisfied, but to be fulfilled. The only thing I have, the only thing to protect me is the hope I have in my heart. The only thing I have, the only thing to protect me is the hope I have in my heart. And I won't let the world No, I won't let the world take it from me. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. What a powerful, powerful combination. Thank you all. And so as our ushers are coming forward, here is our prayer of thanks to listen to. Oh, wait. No, this is the one we do together first. Wrong page. This is our blessing we do together as we hold that hope in our hearts and love wherever we are. And we say together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And then we get to sing together again with Holly, We Three Kings. Ushers are coming forward again magically. And now we'll listen to this prayer. We are grateful and we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again. And so it is. Amen. Because we gotta have faith, faith, faith. Yes, a special welcome to our guests today. If you are visiting for the very first time, thank you so much for being here. And we do have a welcome packet in the foyer that says all kinds of stuff about the Unity movement and Unity of Lawrence. And there's a card you can fill out if you want to be on our e-news and have information shared with you. No pressures. That's what I love about Unity. Welcoming all as you are called to be here. And if you are called to go to lunch with us, we are meeting at Perkins after the service. All are invited. If you are someone who loves to serve through love and action with food, and you would like to be part of our potluck team that sets up, you don't have to provide all the food. It's just setting things up in a space that's already clean and ready, so you don't have to clean any of the stuff and prep. But if you are interested in being in the potluck team, then just let the office know you're interested. We are putting a pause on next week's potluck. We will not be doing next week's potluck, but stay tuned in January as we move forward in a new year with a new team. And then, speaking of teams of people that run things around here, we have our treasurer for the board, Colleen, to have a message to share.
Thank you, Michelle. Our team, finance team, meets every month, and we just want to remind you that Giving Tuesday is coming up this Tuesday, and it is an opportunity to share, as you always do, in the community and in our life. So you can do that in whatever way fits for you. It doesn't have to happen on that day. And we appreciate it so much because we know and believe that this will bring us into line in strong balance as we finish our year. And thank you for who you are and what you do.
Yay. So we also have teams of artists, and so Robin Loomis is here to announce a bit about our Unity Art sale.
Okay, along with giving money to the church, you can give art to the church. If you're not an artist, you've got art at home. You've got art somebody gave you that you don't like. All of you, I know this because I'm an artist, and every time I try to sell you something, you go, oh, my walls are full, I can't get. So empty your walls, come to the art auction, and fill them up again. So how do I do this, you ask? Okay, the show's going to be hung Friday. You were supposed to have followed your deadline and have everything to me by today. Guess what? I know artists. They never get anything done on time. So you may still continue to deliver this week whenever the church is open. When is the church open? I don't know. No. Because I'm an artist. Who knows this stuff? But I do know we have a website. And on that website, we have all the things we do. And if you want to come and meditate, you can meditate and drop off art. All kinds of things are going on all week here. Drop it off anytime the doors are unlocked. If that doesn't work for you, you can find me, text me, email me, and you can bring it to my house. If that still doesn't work for you, somehow I'm going to be here Friday afternoon hanging the show. Not sure how I'm getting in. Yes? Yeah.
Does it have to be painted by an artist, or can it be a print or a statue, or?
It can be anything I can hang on the wall or find a table to put on. Okay, like here's a lovely table full of things. We can probably handle that. If you're bringing in a 20-foot bronze sculpture, we need to talk. Okay, bring your art, and then we're going to have the silent auction, which is going to take place either 15th or the 21st. I'll let you all decide when you want to do that. So it's silent auction. Once it's on the wall, you can start bidding.
Yay, and thank you, Robin. If you haven't seen the beautiful sunflowers that are hanging at the end of the ramp as you go downstairs for Fellowship Hall, it's one of the items you can bid on, and you know I'm gonna. So race you to that one. And yes, I forgot my art today, so thank you for extending the deadline. So our first annual Unity Art Auction fundraiser, all you need to do is reach out. If you want to email me to, I've got keys, I can get us in and take care of it. But we do have meetings and other events happening almost every single night of the week. We are that thriving. And so bring it. We will also be holding chaplain training starting January 5th. So if you would like to become a chaplain, please see Diane Silver, who's head of our team. For more information, sign up in the foyer. And choir practice, if you like singing today, well, we're singing tomorrow night, and that is at 6:20. We'll be performing songs on Christmas Eve, so you're welcome to that on December 24th. And as Robin mentioned, we have open meditations on every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m., so you can practice that. What is this? I don't know, or whatever else you need to practice at meditation. For those who identify as male, the men's fellowship group gathers on Thursdays at 7 p.m. And we love taking care of people, each other, and our community. So this holiday season, we'll be collecting gift cards in the amount of $25 to allow mothers and fathers receiving services at Willow Domestic Violence Center the opportunity to give their children a very special Christmas. Suggested places to purchase them are Walmart, Target, Dillon's. Do you know that if you sign up for Unity of Lawrence to be your recipient, whenever you shop at Dillon's, buy gift cards at Dillon's for any store, not just Dillon's, use the Dillon's for gas, use your Dillon's card for that, Unity of Lawrence gets a kickback every time, so ding-a-ling, let it ring. We will also be collecting hats, gloves, and socks to provide warmth to guests receiving services at the Homeless Resource Center. So please bring your art, bring your socks, bring your gloves, bring your goodwill sharing, and we appreciate you for all you continue to give. But wait, there's more. New group meeting at Unity of Lawrence. Let's raise our consciousness for the environment at Unity. This group will meet once a month on Saturdays to discuss our own thoughts and feelings about climate change, ways to make our church more sustainable, and how to take action in our Kansas community. All ideas are welcome. The first meeting is Saturday, December 14th at 2 p.m. in Fellowship Hall. All are welcome. So we've got Giving Tuesday and all kinds of ways to give other days. Wow, we are love in action. So join us next Sunday when Rev Jen brings us the message, Petals of Peace, special music by Green Spirit Band. And now it's time to sing that wonderful song, Peace on Earth. Let's rise and join hands.